Maika Monroe is best known for her roles in horror films and has garnered significant attention and acclaim for her performances in the genre. She gained widespread recognition for her role as Jay Height in the critically acclaimed horror film It Follows. She also starred in other notable films, including The Guest and Independence Day: Resurgence. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Maika Monroe. Her real name is Dylan. Maika Monroe was originally named Dylan Monroe Buckley. When she was about 7 years old, she asked her mom what other names she had considered. Her mom mentioned Maika as a second choice. Monroe liked it so much that she decided to adopt it as her name. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "I was like, that's my name. So I went around to all my neighbors and my teachers and said, I'm no longer going to respond to Dylan. My name is Maika." And it stuck. She never thought of acting as a career. Growing up doing dance classes, Maika Monroe never thought of acting as a real job until a local film production reached out to her dance company looking for extras for the 2006 film Bad Blood. She told the Irish Times, "I wasn't looking for it. It just happened, and I found myself on set, and that was that. I fell in love with the whole process of making a movie. I loved the sets. I loved watching the actors and the crew. It wasn't until then that I decided to be an actor." She's a professional kiteboarder. Prior to pursuing her passion for acting, Monroe was well on her way to a career in kiteboarding. She started kiteboarding at 13. She told the Irish Times, "I saw my dad doing it and thought it was the coolest thing I had ever seen." At 17, Monroe and her mother moved from Santa Barbara in California to Cabarete in the Dominican Republic to train professionally as a kiteboarder. In 2013, she was ranked as the number 32 professional freestyle kiteboarder in the world. While balancing a career in sports and a career in Hollywood surely isn't easy, Monroe told ESPN that, "It's really cool to be able to do both. I get a chance to be in this film with these amazing actors, the coolest people ever, and I try to kiteboard as much in my free time as I can." She's an established scream queen. Maika Monroe has made a name for herself in the horror genre. Her breakthrough came in 2014 with her roles in 2 horror films, It Follows, where she played Jay Height, and The Guest, where she starred as Anna Peterson. These roles established her as a scream queen. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "I love horror movies. It's so fun being absolutely terrified. It's damn hard to shoot, though. I didn't realize how difficult it was to make a horror movie as an actor." She explained that It Follows was particularly difficult due to the constant screaming, running, and crying, which was both emotionally and physically exhausting. Filming It Follows was an intense process for her. Maika Monroe was eager to join It Follows but found the shoot very challenging. She told Hey You Guys that staying in her character's mindset was tough, so she often listened to sad music alone between takes. Filming in Detroit during winter, despite the film being set in summer, added to the difficulty. She said, "It was, freezing every day, and of course David wants it to be summer, so we're in tank tops and shorts, and it's, 32 degrees outside." Though she called the shooting process physically and mentally exhausting, she maintained that it was all worth it for the final product. Portraying her character Jay's intense fear was particularly hard because Monroe had never experienced such terror. She had to use her imagination to convincingly act out running, screaming, and fearing for her life. She nearly gave up acting. Maika Monroe almost quit acting before filming Villains in 2018 due to burnout. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "I was in this phase of wanting to take every job, and I felt like that's what I had to do. I did about 7 films back to back, and they weren't all great experiences. Some good, some bad." She described the film industry as weird and sometimes dark. She added, "So I was just in a mental state where I was like, this isn't feeling good to me anymore. And so I just needed to disconnect for a second." However, directors Dan Burke and Robert Olson reignited her passion for acting, leading to her recent string of successful projects, including Watcher and Longlegs. Stepping back for a while allowed her to return with a renewed sense of purpose and a more selective approach to choosing roles. She had to fight for her role in Longlegs. Longlegs stars Maika Monroe as Lee Harker, an FBI agent trying to track down a particularly enigmatic serial killer known as Longlegs, played by an utterly unrecognizable Nicolas Cage. In an interview, Monroe recalled her meeting with director-writer Osgood Oz Perkins for a role in the movie. Although she left the meeting feeling positive, her team later informed her that Perkins wasn't sure if she was suitable for the role. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "I talked with my team about it. I was like, what can I do? I will send in a tape. I'll do whatever. So I ended up picking a couple of scenes from the script and sent a tape in, and that's how I got the job." Nicolas Cage scared her by going method as a serial killer in Longlegs. Nicolas Cage and Maika Monroe are the stars in the serial killer film Longlegs, but they share the screen only in a pivotal interrogation scene. Director Oz Perkins deliberately kept them apart during filming to heighten the tension. She told Variety, "The PAS bring me up to this door that enters into the room where he is. The cameras start rolling on me and the director calls action. I open the door and what you see is all very real, and it was incredible. He's unrecognizable, and so I didn't feel like I was in a room with Nick Cage. I was in a room with Longlegs." During their first meeting, she had a small mic taped to her chest that could pick up the thumping of her heart. According to the film's production company, Neon, Monroe's heartbeat reached 170 beats per minute when she finally met Nicolas Cage in his full Longlegs form. Her resting heart rate is 76 beats per minute. She told Entertainment Weekly, "Because I was freaking out, about to have a panic attack, they were able to pick up my heart beating." She watches romcoms to decompress. Maika Monroe shared that filming intense movies like Longlegs can take a toll on her mentally. To decompress, she watches romcoms like When Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail, and 10 Things I Hate About You. She told Entertainment Weekly, "I've figured out the easiest ways for me to tap into that darkness and then get out of it." She once had her own clothing line. While training as a kiteboarder in Cabaret, Dominican Republic, Maika Monroe bonded with local kids who watched her train. Inspired by them, she created a clothing line for Airbound Apparel, a local company donating part of the proceeds to children's charities.